Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. And in this video, um, I'm just going to do a little bit of a rant and also a bit of a comparison. Now, I've viewed all of these tools before on the channel, and there's a review for this one that is new. But right here, I'm doing a comparison between all of these, but especially comparing them to the Leatherman Wave Plus. Why? Because I just purchased this tool. I actually purchased this tool for the channel just to really review it and for you guys. And so this was always the bar that was set, $120 currently, and for like the last year. In addition to that, or a little longer than that, but it's been that price for a little while now. And about maybe like 7 years ago, it used to be $70. This right here was about $35. It cost me $35. I think the retail on it at the time was like 40. I think I got it for 35. About 7 years ago or so. This is now $70, the price that this used to be, and this right here is $120. So, and you have these clones here that go for $30 and about $38. So essentially what we're trying to do here really is, now that I have this in hand, really compare all these tools are all kind of really attacking this one to see, does this even make sense? And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, it doesn't, to me. That's my opinion. But we're going to do a deep dive. First off, I'm going to just kind of bring out their cases because it's a bonus and it's something that matters. So, and all the things that come along with it. So this right here are the two same cases, and this one is for the Wave, and this one is for my Wingman. They're slightly different. Look at that one has stars. Other than that, they're pretty much the same case. So I'm not going to have both of them out to cause clutter. But I'm a really big fan of this case because I like the way it feels. I like that that it's very slim, and I like that the tool will go in it very smoothly. It does have extra layers on the side, which I think are there for benefit, though in practicality, as of right now, this and the Flissa's case feel exactly the same. The only thing about it, though, is I think that the Flissa's case, because it's all stretch material on the side, I think that, and I mentioned this in the review of the Wave, that I think that over time it may wear. I don't think anytime soon, but I think it might wear, because stretching material could sometimes wear and no longer have a stretch to it, and then it will just be very loose and it will be a little bit more extended. This one tries to counter that by the fact that you have an additional stitched on material that is non-stretchy. And then you can see right here that this part is stretchy and it goes all the way to the end, but then you have the non-stretchy that overlays the stretchy material, giving you only just a small portion that is susceptible, what's the word I'm looking for? Accessible for the stretchy part. So the rest of it won't, become worn later on from the stretchiness because it's actually sewn in with a non-stretchy part, if that makes sense. So that aspect, in terms of, like I said, the way these two feel, the cases feel identical and the same. The only difference is this might be a little bit more protective over long term. Nonetheless, if this did get a little bit loose over term, the stretchiness over time, the stretchiness, you still got a button. So it's not like, once you put that down, it's going to prevent it from getting, anything too crazy anyway. The BiBury ones don't have stretchy material at all, so they don't feel as nice and they don't feel as compact, but at the same time, you never have to worry about the stretchy material actually wearing out. The problem with it not being stretchy material at all is that it's a little bit more rigid. So obviously, if you pull too hard, it can break or rip, where one of these, if you pull it, you've got leeway. So that's the only difference with that. Going into additional stuff, obviously, this is the case for the BiBury Pro, which is supposed to be more comparable to the Surge. But price-wise, you can really throw it up against anything and just say, hey, it comes with these bonus features, because at $38, you're getting free bonus features relative to the price of the Wave. And like I said, in this video, everything is attacking the Wave right now. So with that being said, you get the saws, you get this little bit kit. You've got a tool to actually adjust the multi-tool, and then you have replaceable wire cutters right there, which is awesome because that right there is a smack in the face to your 25-year warranty to a degree, because whereas I don't even know if Leatherman will replace that aspect of it, because who knows, they might legit just say, well, we replace certain things on it, but the replaceable wire cutters you got to replace on your own. Because I heard someone say that before on another video where they said if the wire cutters were fixed, they would replace them, but by not being fixed, you have to replace them. If that's true, then this coming with 2 additional ones is definitely like a smack in the face to Leatherman's warranty. Here you come with a little bit of extra, a small bit kit, and this goes for the other BiBury that was here. Now, let's see. Let's bring the tools back into play. The battery's actually running pretty low, so I'm hoping that doesn't die on me in the middle of the recording. Now that we got that passed, let's let the attack continue. Now, obviously, I just threw this up here. It's not really necessarily, is it competition for it? Well, it is, in the sense that a Leatherman's tool is a cheaper option. And so if you wanted something that's almost half the price of this, you can go that route. Now, is it decent? I mean, you know, you have don't mind that my blade is a little bit chipped at the tip, but you have your knife. This is a combo knife. You have really nice scissors, which is really nice. I love the size of them. So that's a plus. And you have fixed wire cutters, but they're actually no good because these ones don't touch. So, and I'm sending this one in because of that reason. You have non-replaceable screwdriver tools. They're not bits. But at the same time, too, to be honest with you, these may even be better than the ones on the Leatherman with the bit driver, because at least these are not probably more durable and won't break as the bit driver is for that, and replacing that becomes annoying. This one, if these things get damaged, you can actually send them in for the warranty, so they'll get replaced like that. Where the bits here, they're not going to replace them for you. You're just going to have to go and buy new ones. And these tools over here, they're okay, but this only competes against the Leatherman in the fact that, I mean, sorry, against the Wave Plus in the fact that it's a cheaper option. Is that something someone will care about? I don't really know if they prefer that or not. Now, the Flissa, really, honestly, other than some small aesthetic aspects of it, like, look at this. You have different texturing here. This one is a little bit different from its original texturing, but just, you know, it's slightly different material, but it's not that big of a deal. Here you can see the locking mechanism is a little bit more intricate as well. Neither one comes with a pocket clip, though this one gives you a space for the pocket clip on the Wave. And, you know, the materials are a little bit different. Yes, it is a black coated one, but nonetheless, the Wave, I mean, the Flissa, I'm sorry, at $30 is literally punching the Wave in the face. You pretty much got all the same stuff. My blade, it's not as sharp on this one as it was out the box with that, but it's still great. Push this back a little bit because it keeps focusing on that. But nonetheless, you have all the same stuff, all the same tools. The only thing that is different on here, to be honest with you, you got the replaceable wire cutters. The only thing that's different really is in the inner tools, you got this, which is far better of a bit driver. It is what it is. We reviewed this tools on the channel already, so you already know that. This is one thing that I'm getting a little bit easier to pull this out because it's starting to wear in a little bit more. But nonetheless, I was never a fan of that. This was kind of hard to pull out. Like I said, I suffer from that problem more than someone else would because I have small nails. I have almost no nails. The miniature or the micro screwdriver is not interchangeable on this one. Fine, it's not really a big deal because a lot of people don't really use them anyway. But with that being said, also the scissors I think are equally just as good. I don't think in no way are they less than the Leatherman for the most part. Really, like I really just don't see it. And then obviously you have the can opener, which the wire cutter part People say it's not as good. Fine, I'll give it that. But God, at $30, like this is really, it's doing everything that the Wave is doing. Really, you really aren't losing out anything. All the little things about it that you might say, artistically, or just the craftsmanship, that how it looks different a little bit, looks like maybe a little bit more high quality when you're under a microscope. None of that matters when it comes to just getting the job done. And I really think that this is just going to get the job done just as well. So I can't even, yeah, this is really just is what slaps it in the face. And the tolerance on this is so tight and so good. It may not be exactly to this one's level right now, but then again, this is new, and this one right here I had for a little while, but it feels just really right up there. So I wouldn't even knock it in that way. I'm going to run over to this one real quick, this newer BiBury that I just recently purchased. And this one actually has a couple of things about it that's pretty interesting too, because one has upgraded plier heads, because I hear that this plier head is on some of the newer Leatherman in terms of the way it angles like that. I'm not too familiar with, but if it is considered a bonus, or makes it better in some way other than aesthetics, I heard some people say that that shape makes it a stronger plier head. I don't know if that's true or not. If it is, then that's a bonus. If it's not, it's just aesthetics, then it's no big deal. Obviously, you've got the bit driver that come in all these clones that is actually more universal and actually is better. Then on this side too, you have, and this is where it gets pretty interesting, because on this tool, let's see, I passed it. You actually have the interchangeable micro bit. Micro driver. So right there, you're getting that same thing that's on the Leatherman Wave. So it's not like this thing where it's like, oh, the clones can't do it. They've done it. In addition to that, too, this particular one here, it's because it doesn't have the big file as the other one did. You have kind of more tools on this back end versus, like, say, the Flissa, which would have like it was 4 on here, and this one has 5 over here. So that's cool. And this is very small right here for the file, but nonetheless, you have the all. So you get some different options here with this tool, but nonetheless, I think that they're going to do just as good as the tools on the Wave. In addition, I'm sorry, this one comes with a clip, and it's a pretty good clip too. It's pretty tight on there. So one, you're getting a clip at $30. This price was $30, and I'm going to put all these tools link in the description down below for you to purchase them on Amazon. So you have that. And what's the other thing I was going to say that's a slightly standout thing? You have this kind of hook in on the back end of the serrated knife. So that's an additional thing that you have on here. The only thing I'm going to say is a little bit negative on this particular BiBury, and I think it's kind of across the board, because I've seen other people with this similar non-BiBury tool, because other companies make the same design but have a different branding, is that when it's in the closed position, this is a little bit off peak. And I actually had purchased another one of these before, and it was the same thing. So that's just a quality control issue that is probably across the board. I think they're all like that. But when you pull out the pliers, that's not the case anymore. They're like this, and they don't move. They're very tight. So there's something about when they're in that position, in the closed position, which is when you're not using it, so you don't have to worry about it as much. Nonetheless, a minor flaw for something that's $30 versus $120. And then now, my absolute favorite, the tolerance on this is strong, it's good. My absolute favorite, the BiBury Pro. I love this tool. This alone, to me, just destroys the Wave for the price. And like I said, we're not going to compare this one to the Surge, as opposed to comparing it directly to the Wave. Why? Because price, it doesn't matter. Like, you wouldn't go and compare something that is the Surge is $150. You could compare them in terms of being similar tools, but also this is $38 versus $150. There's no point. I can directly compare this, if I wanted to this Leatherman, and because of price alone, it can challenge it on a budget level. Because keep in mind, it's not about what the tool does. It's about the price. Because at the end of the day, if I'm a consumer and I say, I've got $50 to spend on a tool, and this is $38 and this is $70, and I say, okay, maybe I'll up my budget for this one if it's that much better than this, and it's totally not, then at that point it's about price. So when I'm looking at this right here, this one's price, comparing it to the Wave, it just destroys the Wave completely, in my opinion. Now, some people might say, well, this is, extra, the metal on it's better, the quality's better. You could say all that stuff. That's fine. But for your daily use of whatever you're using it for, I've used this to cut wires before. I used it just for some everyday around the house use and stuff like that. It's great. You got the replaceable wire cutters. The tools on the inside, I love the fact that they have this retention spring that sends them back. And then when you're halfway, you don't feel the spring, and then it'll lock in place. So it makes it so smooth and easy to pull the tools out, which I love. Even though someone like me who has no nails, I can pull these tools out so easy. Over here, these tools are extra thick, so it's easier to like get that pull edge here than it is on the Flissa. And I'm not saying that as a knock on the Flissa, but because this is bigger, you could just pull out the tools real easy. And like I said, because there's no retention, they have that kind of easygoing spring. When they're like mostly still in, they spring back. When they're halfway up, the spring doesn't come into place. At that point, you could just pull out the tool that you want to use, and then it locks into place. So you have the awl. You have 4 tools on this side. You have the awl. These might seem a little bit repetitive, but I explained in previous videos why they are actually a benefit on this tool, the 2 types of screwdrivers, and I'll repeat that in a moment of why. You have the can opener, the wire stripper, which may not be all that great, but it's fine because all the rest of the tools on this thing seem to be great and do their job. Bottle opener, can opener. Those flatheads, the 2 different types of flatheads, the reason why those are beneficial is because the bit on this one is not a double-sided Phillips, and then flathead is a double-sided Phillips. So you have no flatheads when you're using that bit. Now, granted, you have a double-sided flathead bit in this tool, in this bit kit that comes with it. So you're covered in that aspect. But if you don't want to have to dig inside your little tool kit, your bit kit for that, you already have the flat ones already over here. And then you have the alternating or replaceable T-shank adapter. So you can have this, you can have the razors, you can even, there's actually a BiBury kit that you can buy separately for $20 that has various different types of saws and stuff like that to go in this, including, I think, little X-Acto knives as well, or very similar to an X-Acto knife. So you got a whole kit from BiBury for this. That in itself, that they're giving you support for that kind of thing, is also very impressive. Obviously, you have your serrated and you have your really large knife, which obviously is going to be bigger than the Wave's knife because it's a bigger tool. And like I said, even though the Wave might be a better steel material, there's nothing you can't cut with this one that you shouldn't be able to cut with this one for most basic jobs. To be honest with you, I can't really imagine that being the case where it's like, oh, this thing could cut it and this one couldn't, or this didn't break and this one broke. I mean, I don't think there's that big of a difference between the two, even if there is a small difference. And then last but not least, one of my favorite parts on this, you have these jumbo scissors. They're just great. I could just see you doing arts and crafts with kids and just having these big scissors. They're just so easy to kind of get a good feel on them. So that part is amazing in itself. So with that being the case, I 100% feel that, and this was a quick comparison, whatever. Well, it's not a quick video, but you guys get the idea. Without going into too heavy detail, the Wave Plus, compared to all the rest of these, it just, not including this, but it just doesn't do it. It's just not there. $120 is not there. It really isn't. You can get 4 of these for that. You can get like 3 of these for that price, which this is my favorite tool of all of them. If I had to tell you what's my favorite tool in front of you right now, it's this one right here. Hands down. The rest are not comparing to it to me. Well, they're cool for the price. That's just my favorite. I just love it. This newer one is also pretty nice as well. The Wave is just not worth it. That's just my thoughts. Link's going to be description for all of them. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And that's really about it, you guys. Like I said, is it worth it? No, it's not. I think I'm just going to kind of like really put it away on the side, just have it there. I'm probably not going to use it really that much because what's the point? $120. I may use it time to time. I'll put it somewhere, but I also got to feel like I don't want to lose it or have something happen to it because it's $120. Or if something happens to one of these, you don't feel that way. So, yeah, as always, you guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video.